What's up, family? It's your boy. You already know what it is. I want to welcome you on behalf of my wife and myself to the Truth Moment podcast. We're so happy and grateful that you guys decided to rock with us and come on this journey with us. Listen, it's going to be a night of laughter, a night of love, as well as a night of learning. So this is what I need you to do. Go get some pads and some papers. Nah, I'm just playing with you. Listen, fellas, get your ladies, get some popcorn or some snacks and drinks and get ready because it's about to start in just a few moments. I want to show you that. So in front of our family and our friends, I would love to know if you would do me the honor of being my wife. Will you marry me? For this night, I pray. Just in case you can't see the finger and shake it. Two shall win. What's up, family?
Hey guys,
What's going
it's
on?
Quanisha Bennett and my husband.
Hi. So my name tonight is Evangelist Ronald Jamel
He's
Bennett Jr.
annoying,
No,
y'all.
listen,
He's
listen.
annoying.
My pastor is up here with us, and I'm gonna be on my best
This is
behavior.
very true for me. Right now, he's really annoying in my spirit. I don't know if y'all saw my face,
Listen,
but he's
I'm gonna be
annoying
on
me
my
today.
best behavior tonight. I'm not doing anything crazy, nor am I saying anything crazy.
Quanisha Bennett, Ronald Bennett. If y'all know him, really, his name is Jamel. Those that really know him.
What's up, family?
Let's start. Let's start. Let's start. Let's start.
So we have a special episode tonight called Ask the OGs. God has favored us and blessed us to have so many people in our lives to really come into our lives a different season and impact us, impart wisdom, show us the ropes. My wife's still not feeling me, but
I'm
it's all
still
right.
not feeling him, y'all. For those that can't see my face, my listeners, I'm still not in. It's still not right in my spirit. But I'm gonna get it together. Don't worry about my face. But
She's Ike, I'm Tina.
as he was saying, we have
I'm just
um
rolling,
we have a
rolling.
segment today called Ask the OGs. We have
Ask the
three
OGs.
couples that we've known for a very long time. They've been together for a long time, and we just wanted to bring them on, have this episode for them to impart wisdom into us, but also wisdom into our listeners, into our viewers. Also have some fun, have some laughs, and you know what? Also promote black love.
Black
Not
love,
only black love,
absolutely.
but successful black marriages. I think that that is something that we don't really shine, or more recently we have been, but it wasn't always something that people really spoke highly about. There are black people still married and happy, because there are a lot of people
Absolutely.
that are married but are not happy. So we wanted to just promote that, and this is what it is.
Absolutely. So we want to bring our guests out, but before we do, we had a giveaway last week. Our episode last week was almost 2 hours long. My wife was rebuking me after we got off.
I was.
So we did have a raffle, and we did have a giveaway to
Yes.
4 winners. They were Simone Robinson,
Woo!
Keena
Babe,
Wiggins.
you gotta
I'm
congratulate
reading
the
the
people.
name, so you come on, we a team. If I'm
Woo!
reading, you gotta,
No, you remember when the black man, when you talked about the black man, and I did clap for the talk about the black
Oh,
man. Exactly. Woo!
Jamie Brannick and Adriana Gibson.
Woo!
They all were recipients of a $25 love gift from us. We thank you guys so
Yes.
much for rocking with us. I don't know about you, but I'm excited to be on with the OGs, and so we're gonna bring them on right now. Listen, I just want you to know that you're about to look at almost 100 years of marital bliss and marriage experience. So let's meet our OGs.
Yes. We're all here.
Yes,
And it
yes,
came
yes.
on right this time. Hi, everyone.
What's what's going?
Okay, so I think that we should do this. Just the rule of the name of the game, so everyone's not talking at one time and we're not talking over each other. If you're not talking, we should mute. And when you talk, unmute. That way we don't hear echoes.
I
Okay?
think that's corny, but
You
if
think
that's
it's
what you want,
corny?
yeah, I think
Okay,
I like
Ronald.
the real flow of the conversation, because if we were all together, that's how it would be,
All right, babe.
But you in charge, you in
All
charge,
right,
you
all
in
right,
charge.
guys. We need to ask OGs right now, because right now we ain't on the same page. Okay, guys.
Listen,
Right now we not the same
for
today.
everybody that's watching, sometimes this happens,
This
But,
is a truth
you
moment.
know.
This is a true moment.
Yeah. But so we're glad you guys are here. We love you guys. We thank you guys so much for coming on. So we want to ask. Let's start with Doctor and Lady Thomas. How did you guys meet, and how long have you guys been together?
Okay. Isn't your pastor here?
Yes.
Is it the bishop here?
We
Of
got
course.
we got the ambassador tonight.
Yes, absolutely. All right, go ahead. Yes.
So, what's the answer, guys?
What was the question? No, where did we meet? Was it where we meet?
Yeah. Where did you meet, and how long you guys been together?
We met in the church, and while we was trying to do some math by the way. And I wasn't hearing it. But we met in church. Right?
Okay.
That's our story.
What's your
See,
story?
I love it.
What's your story?
All right. I didn't know she existed until she knew my mom off the church for youth service.
And I was at the ball again, and Pastor Sloan, as we played bucket. So I'm looking, and I see him. And so my best friend, who was the drummer, he's singing her too. So it was a Saturday night, a youth service. So after service, I went and picked the ballistic shot. I jumped my shot. And she said, I'm just so good. But so Sunday morning, when we came to me and the drummer walking after this, I was like, oh, I gave you my number. He was like, no, he gave me what to do. So we both said, well, whoever she called you, I'm a back home. She called me, you back home. That Monday, she told
Whatever.
She said church. She did say church. She didn't give us the detail as you did, but she definitely said church.
I'm gonna keep it up.
See that? I love it. I love it.
So how long have you guys been together?
36 years.
Oh wow.
Wow,
That's a blessing.
36 years of marriage or 36 years of
marriage.
31 years of marriage and 36 years together.
Yes.
Okay, great.
That's a blessing.
Okay, let's see who's next. I don't know why Mel has Pastor and Lady Sloan up here.
I didn't type that in. They
They
typed that. Yeah. You judging me.
I'm sorry. Sloans.
Hey.
The question is, where did you guys meet?
How did you meet? Or
How
where
did you meet? Or where did you meet? And how long y'all been together?
Do we give the extended version or we just tell you that?
Whatever version you want to give. This your moment. This your truth moment. However you want to give it to us.
We met in church.
Uh-huh.
I was affiliated with another church.
Amy Chapel.
I love Amy Chapel.
Chapel.
We visited annually. Bishop and we seen each other. We frequent each other, and my cousins. I have a lot of cousins. We
Yes, they were. We had little girls. Cute.
And my cousins, they all had someone, that talked to. Out of five of them, I was the only one left, and she was the only one left.
Yeah.
But when we first met, I didn't quite like her. And just to not be it or six wheel.
Okay, so y'all started dating by default.
Huh?
Yes.
Y'all started dating by default.
By default. Exactly. And we're the only ones that lasted.
That's amazing. I don't think I've heard that part of the story that y'all dated by default. I heard that the boys that there's a bunch of boys over here and a bunch of girls over there. I know that y'all was a default relationship.
Yeah.
But y'all lasted.
Everything. I wasn't the leader.
But look at you now, girl. Look at you now.
I'm not gonna
Now look at you. Oh, but look at you now. So, how long have you guys been? How long have you guys been married, and how long have you guys been together?
Well, this September we would be married here.
30 years.
Yes.
That's a blessing.
And how long you guys been together?
36.
I think the same time that Valerie.
36. Wow. 6 years dating, 30 years married. Woo!
Yeah. Oh my God.
Bless Jesus. My God. Hold on to God's unchanging hands. For the listeners that can't see me, I'm squinching my hand like this tight, guys, because that's a lot of years. Okay, guys. Next, we have the Ransoms. We have Denise and Darnell Ransom. So, how did you guys meet? And how long have you guys been together, both with dating and marriage?
I'll let her go first, and then I'll correct her. So yeah, you guys will hear the truth. You'll hear the truth moment from
We'll
me.
hear the
So
truth after
you go
you.
ahead.
Okay, you'll give us the truth moment.
He always has these little stories going on in his head that he thinks is correct. But the real way we met was on a basketball court.
Okay,
I
okay,
had a game that night. We met at school, Community College of Philadelphia.
okay.
And I had a game that night. And me and my teammate was shooting around on the side court. And then we came over to the middle court because the guys were finished playing. They was playing an intramural sport game. So I was like, you guys finished? Can we shoot around? So we started shooting around. And then he was talking to his friend, but I guess he noticed the sister was like, you can't play. I was like, yeah, I can play. So I was like, he was like, all right, well, make this one for me. So I shot the ball, went all net, of course, you know. And then so he was like, that was luck. And I was like, whatever. And then, so he was like, do it again. So I did it again. And he was like, that was luck.
Father, son, go ahead.
Something else. And I was like, all right, give me the ball. So he gave me the ball again. And I shot it again. And it went all that.
Holy Ghost.
So then after that, I think you got my number. Or we had a game. I think he left or something like he left the gym or something like that. And we had our game, but I hadn't seen him for like maybe a day or two.
About that.
Like a day or two. So it just so happened I used to be like a gym rat in college. So I used to stay in the gym all the time. And then I saw one of his friends that he was playing with in the hallway. And I was like, hey, where your friend at? Where your friend Darnell at? And he was like, who now? I was like, yeah. And he was like, he right behind you. So I turned around, I was like, oh my God. And he was right behind me. He was like, what's up now? I was like, give me your number. Let me tell you, I gave him my phone number, my mom number. I gave him my pager number. That's how old we are. I gave him my pager number. I gave him my grandmother number because that's where I was staying. And I gave him, I kid you not, the church payphone number. That man was going to reach me at one of them locations. So that's how we met.
All right. Now let's backtrack a minute because they were shooting on the side court. She said the middle court, which is the main court where they play the games at. Now they already had a court that they were shooting on. So, you know, she saw a good looking brother over there and she come over. Now, what lady do you know wears lipstick for a basketball game? She was did up. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I'm flirting with her. Like, can you make this one for me? She made it 3 times in a row. I kid you not. Honest to God, God is my witness right here. She never made 3 shots in a row again since that day.
Really? Really? Like, wow.
So she gave me all these numbers, right? Let's get to the numbers now. The first number I call. Now, mind you, Elder Sloan and Lady Sloan, you guys know about all the nicknames that she has, right? So nobody's called their real name. Just like how y'all thought Hammy was Hammy's real name, but he's Darnell Jr. So I call the house. The first call I make, I say, hello, can I speak to Denise? They're like, Denise? Don't know Denise live here. I'm like, man, she gave me the wrong number. I called the other number. They said the same thing. I'm like, you know what? I ain't calling her. I threw the numbers away. I said, I ain't calling her no more. And she called. It was one time it was Sister Latoya that answered the phone. And she was like, you dummy, that was for me. I'm Denise.
I was mad at Toya because, you know, I was like, Toya, I'm Denise. And she's like, I thought your name is Darcel. I was like, no, I was Denise.
Anyway.
So I called him back. But that was the end of that. And then, you know, everything else happened after that. But we've been together for 28 years and married for 23 years. This year will be 23 years.
No, this year will be 24.
No, this year will be 23. Look,
next,
we're in the 20s.
Next year will be 25.
Are we frozen? I can't hear. I can't hear you.
Y'all muted.
Yeah, they can't hear us. How about now? Can you hear us?
You can hear us?
We hear you. Can y'all hear us?
Now we can hear you.
I heard last.
Y'all can hear us?
Now we can.
Yes. All right, cool.
Okay.
I'm unmuting everybody because they said the audio is so much better now. I'm so sorry about that earlier, guys.
We were having technical difficulties, and my husband didn't want to start earlier so we can do these technical difficulties,
man.
but it's all right
Here we go.
because we in a
Here we
truth moment
go.
in this very moment. Okay, guys,
I
we
got
are
your back,
here.
bro.
Can they hear us? Okay?
Yeah, they should be.
Okay, guys, y'all hear us now. He's working, he's doing different things. We are here and we are live. So what I was saying was, Denise, it sounds like you really wanted Darnell. It was like really the 4 or 5 different numbers. That was really
Yeah. Because if I want you, I'm gonna get you.
Listen.
And he was cute, so I got what I wanted.
Listen, Linda, I love it. I love it. Listen, I'm loving it. This is gonna be spicy. I feel it's gonna be spicy tonight. So you can do the next one.
All right, so we're gonna throw you guys on the hot seat, and anybody can jump out at any time to answer these questions. But we want our guests to get to know you guys a little better.
Yes.
And so we want to ask you some trick questions, throw you guys some curveballs, and so here you go.
This is like an icebreaker.
Right. So where was your first date? And any couple at any given time can just go ahead and answer. Where was your first date?
Okay, the souls are gonna go first.
I met my wife. She was 15 years old. I was 16. And we didn't go on our first date until she was 18.
Oh, wow.
Watch this. We weren't even allowed to go anywhere by ourselves because she was on lockdown.
That's holiness. Holiness.
It was good. Our first date was on her birthday. She had just turned 18.
Yes.
In fact, we had gotten engaged.
Yeah.
When she was 18.
Wow.
And
Awesome.
I took her to Beefsteak
Charlie's. You remember Beefsteak Charlie's? We thought we was doing something real big.
We got on the train. Went to Manhattan.
Yeah.
I took her to Beefsteak Charlie's.
Yes.
And then y'all know what happened after that.
No, I don't know. What?
I had a prayer meeting.
Did you go with pray? Was it?
Had a prayer meeting.
Okay. We have prayer.
I don't know.
Listen.
This is an adult show. We don't know what happened.
Listen, we got a bishop, a pastor, a district elder. I'm on my best behavior today. I'm not getting in trouble.
We have prayer. Okay, that was a good one. Okay, so who wants to answer that next?
We was praying for sins not to be revealed.
Wow.
It's not being
Talk about wait on the Lord. I'm done. Okay, so who wants to answer that next? Where was your first date?
Good.
All right, so we'll go. Our first date was a candlelit.
The real first date or
what was talking about? All right, I'll tell you. I don't know which one she's talking about, but I'll tell you what I'm talking about. So we had I'm the romantic type, love letters, flowers, candy, spraying the car with some nice smelling cologne, all that type of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Candlelit dinner, right? So I used to work at this catering place a long time ago, and the food was slamming. So I brought food home from the job one night.
leftovers?
It was leftovers, but it was you didn't know it was leftovers because you tore it up. So anyway, I hooked it up. Took it downstairs. My bed. We had a nice finished basement. Took it downstairs. Had the table set up. Table with 2 chairs. Candlelit dinner. I forget what song I had planned, but I had some slow music going. Oh yeah, anybody from Philly remember the Quiet Storm with Tony Brown? I had the quiet storm on. The thunder was rolling. Y'all know Tony Brown voice. Tony Brown voice get him right. That's what it was. It was a candlelit dinner in my basement. Now, don't think of a dungeon. My basement, my house is bad.
Nice,
So
yeah.
Okay, very nice.
It's the same one, y'all. So you go ahead.
Yeah, you just don't want to tell the whole story, but that's okay. We didn't leave out nothing.
All right, we may get to that part later. Let's see what kind of questions y'all got.
Listen. It's the truth moment here, uncensored, unrated. Whatever you want to say is what we want to hear.
Kevin said y'all nasty.
Well, we had a prayer meeting too.
That's why we made it that long, Kev.
Oh God. Okay, Thompson, what about you guys?
Okay,
I'm sorry, guys.
so our first date never happened.
Bobby, don't go there.
Don't. Now hold on. The first date was to go to church. 170 Adelphi Street, Sloan. That's where I was going to take her. She didn't know nothing about that.
I didn't know nothing about that. Nothing.
So I was going to take her to the broadcast that night, Sunday night.
Bishop Williams, yes.
Sunday after I think we had an afternoon service. I can't remember what it was, but I called her from the church phone.
Don't do it, Bobby.
I got you.
Okay, all right.
Bottom line, she couldn't come.
Yes.
So that was supposed to be my first time taking her out.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm not mistaken, now you tell me if I'm wrong.
I will.
I think we went on that double date with Mike and your girlfriend when he had the car that was leaking.
Yeah.
The T-tops. We went to the movies.
Yes.
My man used to have a Trans Am with T-tops, and the T-tops used to leak. So Val's girlfriend and him is in the front. They good. Me and her in the back, like, like, yo, this is crazy.
And the car smelled.
And the car was kind of funky. So if I'm not mistaken, that really was our first date.
Well, okay, if you want to, that could be the date.
Because I paid, so I know it was the first date.
But the first date for real.
He said
Wait, I got to preach Sunday. Don't.
No. All right, the first date for real. Since the first date really didn't happen, that was on us.
It was supposed to be on Sunday.
On a Sunday.
Right.
That Monday, which was the next day, I moved into my own apartment.
True
I got my own apartment keys. What? Say that. So the first date was not in the Trans Am.
My God.
Hot.
Glory.
Yes, some powerful praying couples.
My God. For those that are listening, for our listeners, y'all can't see the faces, but baby, listen, we're saying something else. They are saying something else.
There's water in there.
Yes, Lord.
Listen. So we have another question. We have a couple of questions.
Okay.
So the next question is, who said I love you first? Okay, Bobby.
Wow.
The men's. What about down here?
It was Denise.
I did.
Okay. Babe, who said I love you first?
I did.
No, you didn't.
I did.
Yeah.
We was sitting on your mom's couch.
And what you said, babe?
I was hugging you from like the back.
How you said it?
I said I love you, and it was the first time either one of us even got close to that. You said you what?
What I said? I said
you said you what? And I said again. I said I love you again, and you said really, and I said yeah, and you said oh I don't know if I'm ready to say that yet.
Dang, babe, you was gonna tell that part. You could have just said that there.
You know, so I said it, and she left me. She left me out there to dry.
But I think I said it to you later.
Yeah, like a couple of months later.
But we love each other now.
Yeah.
That's all that matters, guys. So y'all said I love you first. Okay, so we got that answer. All these preachers up here I'm not reading Dane's message.
Can I say something?
We were not in church, nor did we meet in church.
They wasn't saying
we were in church.
Listen,
We are covered by God's mercy and grace.
Listen,
Hallelujah.
yes. They were young people doing what young people do, like all the young people been doing. Okay, that's what was going on in there.
Yes.
We're gonna go to the next question. What was the first? Really, babe? What was the first meal?
Mm-hmm.
What was the first meal your spouse cooked for you? I don't know if you guys know that. I don't know.
Well, that's a trick question because you said my spouse.
Oh yes, this Mel
I mean,
has
but if you
spouse.
They say my girlfriend.
Yeah, that's true.
I wasn't cooking for him at a girlfriend age.
Yeah, she was.
Oh,
I was.
I wasn't playing the wife role.
I
At least
was.
not and cooking.
Okay, so what was the so what do you want to do? Spouse or
Whatever you want.
whatever. Do y'all remember the first meal? Well, I mean that they cooked, I guess. That they cooked for you.
My first, I tried because Bobby
Kendrick, yes, a couple of months, Kendrick. I'm sorry.
Bobby can eat chicken morning, noon, and night. He's a chicken man, chicken fried,
I'm a
chicken
black
fried chicken.
preacher.
Well, before that, still. And I didn't know how to cook. I just knew how to cook steak and rice. So I was trying to impress him and fry some chicken. As you say, Quanisha, baby. No, it looked good. But when he bit into it, it was blood running.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
And it wasn't running warm in my veins.
No. So it was a disaster. But I tried to fry him some chicken. And that was my first disaster meal. I tried. I didn't know.
Okay. Well, you tried. Nothing beats a try but a fail, they say.
There you go. That's what they say. But he wasn't eating that chicken.
He wasn't
eating that chicken.
Okay. What about you, Ransom?
So ours was, I guess that first date meal can count, even though it was kind of prepared already. I can tell you what it was. It was lemon grilled chicken.
It
was.
Yeah, but that's what it was. But you didn't cook it.
I prepped it. I was the prep cook. So I got a hand in it.
You get some credit for that.
Thank you. Thanks for having my back. We had some. I think it was string beans with it. Was the vegetable. But can I backtrack 1 second for that I love you question? She asked me first. And Q, this is what you could have said. This is what I said. I said, listen, I would like to love you. I wasn't ready to say I love you just yet. So I heard it with I would like to love you, but later on down the road, it got to I love you.
Yes, I don't fully remember that story that he's telling, so I have to go along with it. I feel like we both said it together. That's what I feel like. I feel like you said I love you, and then I said it a little bit later.
That's not how to happen at all.
Okay, babe.
I'm not even going to give you the
But you're not going to always make it seem like I'm the problem child in this relationship, not on the Truth Moment podcast.
Not at all. All right, so that was our little hot seat moment. Yes. Now let's get to the nitty gritty. We had some people sending some real serious questions because of the state of their marriages. Yes, sir.
Y'all don't want to know what you cook for me?
Oh, I thought Felice said she don't.
She said I didn't cook for him as a. All right, so
she did the 3
I
snaps.
did cook for him
First of all, I made the mistake of saying to her,
she'd have to cook
when we get married. To cook every night. But Bobby, I made that mistake.
Mistake.
We can get something to eat. We can get it, everything. But anyways, the first meal she did make for me, we were married already. It was she made chicken cutlet with spaghetti, and I must say, it was good. It was good.
Okay, good.
And then it was like a couple of years later that she made the next one.
I'm done.
You're not gonna do her like that though. She was cooking in between there. In the meantime, it's a lot. The kitchen is hot.
She said the kitchen is hot.
It's hot.
So we have some questions. Man, you go. Since I'm doing a lot of talking.
So here's one of the questions that we got a lot, and anybody at any given time can jump out and answer this question. What are some of the ways that a husband can better love a wife? What are some of the ways that a husband can better love his wife?
I'll go first with that. And I can say this from experience. I would say that listening to your wife when she's talking, like not being distracted on your phone while she's talking, but giving her a listening ear, looking her eye to eye, letting her know that you really care about what she has to say. So I would say giving that undivided attention, that really goes a long, long way.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that as a husband, we have to pay attention to the wife's or the spouse's sensitivity because they are more sensitive than we are, and sometimes, when we men, when we get involved in what we do, sometimes we don't, as Ransom said, we don't listen, or we don't we hear them, but we're not paying close attention to what they're saying. Because I'll give you a case in point. Many years ago, my wife said something to me, and I'm sure at that time she was feeling a certain way, and I really wasn't paying attention, and she said it to me, and when she said it to me, it went right over my head, and I just blew it thing. But we gotta pay close attention to their sensitivity because they were always almost like God. They would give you warning. They'll give you warning.
We do give you warning. You're right about that one. We give warnings, we give eye signals, we give body motions. Like y'all know when things are not right. Y'all know.
Absolutely.
They know.
I would also say know what they like.
Yes.
In other words, when Robert and I were dating, he's a big football fan. I don't know anything about football. I still don't. But you know what? When he would sit there and watch it, I would just go sit with him and say, babe, what does this mean? And that's showing that your interest means something to me. I may not understand it.
Definitely.
For you to know that I'm with you, regardless, whether I want to be here or not, I'm showing you that I love you. And I don't understand it, but I'm here for you.
But I'm not watching Lifetime.
I don't do that. You know what makes them pick, what they like, and try to be a part of it.
Definitely. Okay, so we have a couple. The watchers, the listeners, the viewers are definitely asking questions, and a question that they asked, and I guess they felt like I was trying to skip over, was what was my first meal that I cooked for you?
I don't even remember.
Probably
spaghetti.
Probably my infamous spaghetti. Let's go with that, babe. It was spaghetti, guys. That y'all had the most so bad. It was spaghetti.
Yeah, probably spaghetti. She makes some mean spaghetti.
I do make.
She can cook other things, so don't get it twisted. But everybody loves the spaghetti.
Everybody loves spaghetti in this house, so probably was spaghetti. Now,
so hold on before we go to Kev.
Okay.
I wanna flip this question to the women because we were asking the men. to the wives. How has your husband learned to love you better, or is there still an area or way you feel like your husband can love you better?
Ooh.
Because I know my wife. Can
I answer first?
Yeah. Okay. I was about to tell you. Okay.
You want to tell mine?
No, you go ahead.
You go first.
You go ahead.
I'm go first.
You go ahead.
So he can love me better by listening more. Then we were talking about well, you know what? He actually listens. So listening is not really it. I think you listen. I just think that you sometimes don't like to do what I say sometimes. He don't like to do what I say sometimes.
I think that to do that, you can't tell him what to do. I've learned that you can't tell them what to do because they're not our children. It's a suggestion. Or it's I think, and then let them take it from there. But if you start telling them like, you need to do this, you need to do that, they're gonna be looking at you like, what?
No, I don't do it like that. I do it like this.
Can I respond?
Yeah, you respond because I was gonna say how I do it. Okay.
So I've learned to I want my wife to tell me basically what it is she wants because it makes things so much easier. Here's one of our major problems.
What?
My wife will say, babe, can you give me that? Can you pass me that? Ron, can you do me a favor? Can you do this? And so I'm sitting there anticipating, waiting on the next part, and then she's like, I thought I asked you to do this and so.
You're supposed to know what that is, babe. We are one. Our minds are together.
You see, so I don't
go.
If I turn this camera around, like we got 50 million things over here. I don't know which one. So what I used to do,
Bad, Jamel. It happens the same way because John be like, babe, look, and I'll be like, where? Looking in the whole nother direction. And he's like, no, over here on this side.
You know, we're supposed to be one.
It's not just you. It's not just. It happens to any one of you. It's not. Just
I know it's not
thing.
I would say
I totally miss it every time.
I would say have an open mind.
Yes.
Because my thinking may be different than your thinking. And if you don't have an open mind, all you have is a one-track mind. You can't see what I'm thinking and I can't see what you're thinking. So I think having an open mind, which actually makes the table open. So everything is out in the open. So if I don't understand what your thinking is, maybe, you know, you can explain it more than I can explain it. And you, oh, I see, I never thought of it that way. So I would just say, have an open mind with your spouse.
Definitely.
Anybody else want to add to that? If not, we can jump to Kevin's question.
Repeat the question. What was the question again?
How do I love you more, or what do I like to be loved more? Right.
The question I asked was to the women. How can your husband love you better?
Yeah.
And what are the ways that your husband can love you better?
I agree with Felicia. I think she said it best because I was thinking along the same lines is, you know, not giving out demands, you know, but requests from him. Like, babe, you know that good
Tell about that.
What?
That when you watch that.
No, I'm talking right now.
Oh,
but
yes,
you know how, like, I don't know, he can cook, he really can. And I'll be like, babe, can you make your what is it? Your shrimp fettuccine Alfredo tonight? You think you can make that? Instead of saying, can we get a good meal? Like, can you make your stuff for us tonight? Because I'm tired of cooking. I've been working all day. Instead of me saying that, be like, babe, can you make that for me? And he'd be like, oh, okay. You know, he get a big head, be like, oh, okay, no problem. And he think he could really cook. But it's just to get him to do what it is that I wanted him to do. So I just think it's just knowing their love language, knowing what works for them, what is something that, you know, if you know that they're sensitive, you can't say any and everything. You got to know that your spouse is sensitive or your significant other is sensitive. So you just can't come out on them harsh because it could hurt their feelings. So you got to know it can't be about you when you're dealing with the spouse. It has to be about what they feel, not about what you feel.
Can I add just one more thing to that? So I came home from work one time. This was years ago. And, you know, I got a habit of taking my shoes off and just letting them go wherever they go. And I came in and I did that. And she was like, baby, how was your day? Told her how my day was. She said, you know, I really love when you take your shoes and your clothes and put them XYZ. I looked at her like, and then when I said that, she was like, it worked. I'm like, what you in here looking at? So it being more suggestive instead of demanding, I definitely agree with that.
Delivery is everything.
Yeah. Absolutely. You guys, I think you guys are answering the question. What if you feel that they are overly sensitive so much that it diminishes your? Oh, well, he had a second part to it, but I think, Kevin, what they were saying in the beginning is the delivery is everything. So even if you feel like your spouse or the person that you're with, your significant other, is being overly sensitive, right? The way in which you even express that they're being sensitive can be a way to really allow them to be vulnerable in front of you and really get to the nitty-gritty of what it is that they're being oversensitive. Because a lot of times, you know, what the issue appears to be is not always the issue. You know, they're acting oversensitive about one thing when actuality they're mad or they're feeling a way about something totally different, right? So the way in which you approach them, the way in which you approach your significant other, your partner, the person that you're with, you know, even in that oversensitive moment, can really dismantle that and really bring you guys at a better space.
And if I can add, Lady Thomas hit it on the head, I think too. is keeping an open mind. I think one of the things that was an issue for us in the beginning was it was like, I know what you need. Just let me do what I think you need.
He
Like
thought he knew. You thought. I thought you know. Who thought you?
we both were
Yeah.
guilty
Yeah.
of saying like, if you would just let me do this or let me control this, let me give it to you this way, let me, you know what I'm saying? Rather than just listen to the person saying, I just want a hug.
Yeah.
I don't want, Louis Vuitton every night. Just give me a hug.
So for you listeners, I want to be very clear when I say he doesn't listen to me. It wasn't like as I was telling him like, get out, do it. It was like, you're not hearing what I'm saying to you. Like I'm speaking my heart, but you're doing what it is that, like, basically you're loving me the way that you want me to love you, and not loving me the way that I want you or need you to love me. And I think it was Denise that said, it was either Denise or Val that said about the love language. Like it's important to know your spouse's love language, because a lot of times we can love the person in our love language and not their love language, and then that is you not listening to me, because I'm telling you I need attention and affection, and your love language is sex. So we go have sex, but that's not what I said I needed.
Right.
I needed to be cuddled. I needed to lay on the couch and watch a movie with you, right? So that's when I'm saying, the listening part is not a matter of a demanding, but a matter of hearing what I need from you. What do I need from you versus exactly what do you need from me? And someone wanted us to shout out. We have to pause for a cause because T is not gonna let you go by with this. Please, we normally shout out the clothes that we wear.
So this shirt that I'm wearing tonight is from my brother Tyrone Norland.
Yes.
He has a brand new clothing line that's getting ready to drop called Autopilot Crew.
Yes.
And you could check it out on Instagram. His Instagram handle is CMO_K-DASH.
Yes.
And he's about to drop a dope clothing line.
And we'll put the link in the bio. I'm wearing God is dope.
The Sloans want to know how come our godson hasn't sent us any shirts.
I don't know.
This is not our shirt.
This ain't.
Wait.
Oh. T, you in trouble, T.
You in trouble. You kept on talking about your shirt, T, and now you're going to get a spanking. You see, that's what happened.
So, you guys don't see it on the screen yet, but there's some more comments.
There's a lot of comments, a lot of questions
that I'm trying to get to. Kevin talks about silence.
Oh, Kevin says respect. Yeah, Kevin said, I'm sorry, Philly. Kevin said respect a silent moment for what it is and nothing. They went too fast. And nothing more. Sometimes he needs to take time and process. I guess that's to the women.
What I can say to this is that for those of us that read the Bible, you know about Dave in the cave of Adullam. Men have a cave. When the weight is too much, when the pressure, I tell my wife all the time, like, I'm going in my secret place. I've got to disconnect from you, connect to him, and have a one-on-one until I can come back and this be healthy and be productive. So men have a cave that if all else fails, and it's tough for us to sometimes communicate when we get to that place, but it's really survival mode. We enter survival mode. I have to shut down. I can't take any more disappointment or loss or whatever it is. And that's what happens with the silence.
Okay. We're going to get to questions because these people are asking questions, guys.
Let me say this.
But don't take too long in your cave.
That's what I'm about. That's the question.
Right.
Go. What you about to say, Ty?
For me and for Lee, when there's a silent moment for us, we try to find out, because when there's silence, something is wrong. There's something happening. And
definitely.
We never let each other go in our separate areas and be silent. We want to find out, what's bothering you, what's going on, is this something we can do, or do you got this? Like that. Mm-hmm. At least this way, we're both still on the same page and we understand, because some people can be silent and yet suffering and won't share with their spouse, and that's not healthy.
Definitely.
So if they know, okay, you all right, we're good. She used to always ask me, babe, we're good. And I was like, yes, babe. I'm just dealing with something that, and then we will go our separate ways. So
I think that you should appreciate the fact that he is thinking and he is processing, because he could be doing absolutely nothing, and that will frustrate the heck out of us. But
this is true.
I think that it's a time period that you should give your spouse just a woosah moment, because everyday stuff come up and if you have kids, that incorporates it, and things could just start whirling out of everything, and you'll just be sitting there trying to figure things out by yourself. When you can actually have a conversation once you kind of process and get all of the unnecessary stuff out, because we want to do detail, and sometimes it doesn't take all of that. Sometimes it's two minds that can bring the solution instead of just one person trying to figure it all out themselves.
Definitely. I'm sorry. Were you going to say something, Darnell?
Yeah. So I can say for men, we definitely need that moment to process, and it's been my experience that my wife is a bit wittier than me. Her comeback is much faster than my comeback. I don't know if the other husbands on here agree with that, but it sometimes you just gotta take a moment and think about what you're going to say before you say it, because it's some things that our wives can say to us sometimes that could damage us, and knowing that they're sensitive, a bit more emotional than the man, we want to come back. I'm speaking for me, but we try our best not to hurt that emotional space that they have, because all it's going to do is just make it worse. So we just need a little time just to process and think about what we're going to say, because you don't want to say the wrong thing, and something small can turn into something huge. And that's what the enemy wants to do, magnify things. And when you think about it, a lot of the little disagreements that you have in marriage is just little, but the enemy tries to magnify it, but if we could just
I think you guys frozen.
I don't know if they can see us.
Yeah. We can see you.
Went out for a minute. Yeah. Okay. So we can just make it past those little moments when the enemy's trying to magnify a situation. I think we'll be fine, and do like the Bible says, don't let the sun go down upon your wrath.
Right, but also you got to understand, when you're in a marriage, and it's the two of us have become one. If you spending, I can see you maybe an hour or two with the Lord, but when you talking days or weeks and you ain't talking to each other,
yeah, it's not good.
That ain't good. Something is wrong. If the silence is too long,
right,
there's a disconnect between you and the husband. And if he can't come to you,
right,
there's a problem there. Both of you need to get together and maybe go to God, or find out from each other what it is that you two are lacking, or what the issue is, and then go to God in prayer for that one. But I don't think it should last days. I really don't. Not as a married couple.
So yeah, I think that was the question, and you guys kind of answered it. And I don't know if Bobby and Val, if you want to add to it, but a question was, so how long should, if it's a matter of silence or not talking to each other, how long should that last?
So can I just say this?
Yes, sir.
It's I hear what everybody's saying about it shouldn't last days. But let me just, I had to throw this in there. I don't know who said something, but it clicked in my brain. We talking about black love, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
One thing I have to throw out, the pressure of being a black man in America. That pressure is overwhelming, to the point where, and my mom's taught me this when I was maybe 5 years old, 6 years old. At the end of the day, if you're not careful, you could be dead because you're a black boy. No other reason. Didn't do anything wrong. And I have grown up with that. I'm 56 years old. She never lied. And so that pressure is magnified by the fact that we're saved for service now. So I know that I can't respond in them streets the way the next person could. So I may have to swallow a whole lot inside. And then the wrong thing to do is come home, spaz out on my kids, spaz out on my wife, take it out on the people in church. So that pressure sometimes, it just, there's nothing that you can say or do other than pray, and God give you however long he's going to take, but you need that time. There was a time, believe it or not, and it was nothing bad or anything. My boys was tripping. I was like, yo, I'm taking a drive. I'm going down to Myrtle Beach. They was like, oh, you and Val? I said, no, I'm going by myself. I just need some time to get away from, and I wasn't pastoring, but I just needed some time. I was home with the kids during the summer. I just needed time to just let my brain on pause. Now, how much time did I need? I left on Friday. I was back Monday. I missed her so much. I spent 2 days there, and I called my mother and said, Mom, I'm coming back home. Don't tell her. And what my mother do, she told her. Because I was surprised when I came back. But it was the drive down there that relieved the pressure that I was feeling. Had nothing to do with her. Had nothing to do with the marriage. It just was the pressure of being a black man and just seeing how things go. And I just needed to woosah. So we have to, as a spouse, both women and men, both of you, my wife needed time.
Yes, I was getting ready to say, sometimes we're together, but I'm still Valerie.
Right.
He's still Bobby. Now we're together, but I'm not going to lose myself. And there are times when, you know what? I'm packing a bag. I see you in the morning. I'm going with girls or whatever the case may be. It has no bearing on him, but
you know what, John? Because I trust her. Because I'm gonna tell you now,
what it is.
It's cheaper to keep me. It's cheaper to keep me. So, but the real truth is that I really trust her. I trust her with my life. When I say she my ride or die, she my ride or die. So I trust her. Now, if she break my heart, that's between her and God.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But when she says to me, baby, I need some. Last year during the pandemic, you know, she's a funeral director. When I tell you, Val was working 16-hour days, 6 days a week. Wow. The only day she had off was Sunday. You think now, even though we were online and not in the church, you think I'm gonna bother her on Sunday morning? Hey, listen, I got service online. You need to be. Are you kidding me? That was her only day to just. I didn't ask Val to cook dinner. None of that.
Wow.
Just take your time to relax, because I saw how she was coming home. So if she said to me, you know, she couldn't, but when we came out of or as we come out the pandemic, if Val says to me, listen, I just want to go away for a few days, I'm good with that.
Yeah,
you need that.
It's
and
true.
That's why we good together, because we understand what each other needs.
Right.
Yeah.
If we're gonna try to be selfish, it ain't gonna work.
Right.
Definitely.
That's the key right there. Understanding each other's need. Every marriage is different. You have to know the spouse that you're with.
Right.
Yeah.
We can give you 99 different kind of advice on how to do certain things, but you have to know your spouse. You have to know what you can and cannot, or what you will and will not do. And there's a consent for both parties to be a part of that. I don't want to travel by myself. You know, I've never thought about it. I mean, I just haven't. But I'm going away. I'm going away soon, but without him. So it's going to be something totally different for me, that I'm like, oh wow, I'm really going to do this. You know, so it's something I commend all of those women that don't lose sight of themselves and take some time to regenerate, to be a better you for your spouse, because that's what that is. Sometimes we don't go away, we go into another room. But sometimes you just need time
change the atmosphere.
Get away and do you, where you get your nails done, your hair done, your foot massage, you come back looking brand new and looking fresh for the next go round, because you don't know.
Well, you know what too, I want to emphasize on this. Sometimes it's not a matter of you. For some people, it's a matter of, like you said, going away. Whether you're going away with your girlfriends or you're going away with your sisters, right? You go away with your guy friends, or you go with your brothers. Or sometimes it's having that me time, like you was just saying, Philippe, where you just go and you get your nails done and you get your hair done. You just go and you go play basketball and you have that moment in time. I think that those moments are very important, because at the end of the day, like Val was saying, we are still very much individuals, even though we are becoming one, right? Because the reality is we continue to become one.
Yes, right.
Every day we are becoming one, but we're still two separate individuals. It's important not to lose the sight of you as a person, because once you become a husband and wife, and then you become a father and a mother, and then you're a worker, and then you're this in the church and you're that in the church, and your auntie and your daughter and your son, you can really lose yourself in all of that hats that you wear. And then what really suffers is this.
Yes.
Because now this is the last of you, because you've now given out to everyone. Now this has become the lowest. So you need to revive yourself and come back. So just for the how long should you not talk is different entities. If you guys are not speaking because it's a heated argument, you shouldn't let a heated argument go on for too long. But if you guys are not talking because you're in a space personally where you're trying to get your mind right, you're trying to think of things, then that is different, right? And that is what I believe. I gotta call Pastor and Philippe was saying, are we good? That's when you do one of these. Boo, are we good? If we good, then you have the time that you need to do what it is that you need to do. Take that time for yourself, and we could come back again and we commence again, because Jamel is a silent person and he thinks a lot. So he needs his time to just like be in his head, pray, talk to God, have his moment. And I'll come to him and I'm like, babe, we good? You still love me? Truth moment. You still love me? Hey, but you love me? He's like, I love you. But truth moment, babe, do you really, really love me? He's like, I love you, Quanisha. We're fine. You're gonna make us have a problem if you ask me that one more time. But that's you have to, like you said, Philippe, you have to know your spouse. You have to know the relationship in which you're in. Because if you don't know the relationship, then you fall into very diverse places that you don't want to be in.
Absolutely.
And for me, when John says, well, when he just starts to get quiet, because he's usually not quiet, but when he's quiet and I ask those necessary questions, I then go into my prayer closet. I then now step back and be like, okay, God, he's going to be talking to you. I'm going to be talking to you before him. So I stand in proxy, because sometimes, with the weight of family, making sure that things are done, making sure that things are okay, it can get hard.
Wait, definitely.
And before you know it, you spiraling out of control and you don't even know why, because you got 99 different things. But if you are going back to paying attention to your spouse, knowing that body language, knowing, those times when you should interject and when you just should lay back and be like, okay, God, he's going through something. Because if you know that you ain't really do nothing, you don't really have to ask, but you just ask just for assurance. But you know you good, so something else is bothering him, So
definitely.
It's best that you ask the question, but yet step back and don't always have an answer for it, because we can have an answer for stuff. And sometimes it's not for us to have an answer for, at least not right then. Sometimes
definitely.
we gotta figure it out, and then we can come in and put the icing on the cake.
Definitely.
So if I could just piggyback like 10 seconds just off of what Bishop said. It just a lot of times, and this is for the women, us men, we do need that space from time to time. And it's not necessarily that we're upset with you. We might get quiet, but it might not be that we're upset with you. It could just be a situation that we're upset with, not necessarily you. So sometimes y'all may take it that we're upset with you, but it's not you. It's just a situation. And the way that we look, our demeanor, you may take it as if it's a problem. Like Q says, she asked Mel, you okay? We're okay, babe. We're okay, babe. It could just be a situation, not that it's something that the husband is mad at the wife about. It could just be a situation that the husband could be just dealing with. So just keep that in mind, women.
Wow, absolutely. So I'm gonna give you guys a truth moment. I'm gonna give you a truth moment.
Truth moment.
I used to go into a cave early on in our relationship and our marriage.
Did we discuss this truth moment before?
No.
Okay,
This is real raw.
My God.
I used to go into a cave a lot, and for those who know me know that I am nothing without my godparents. They have literally been with me from my conception until now. But I always had this idea or this vision of who I was going to be when I got married. You know, I wanted to be financially set and have this and things in order. And there was a lot of Sundays where I used to ride in my godparents' car and be so upset with myself that I had a wife and I had a family, but I couldn't afford a car and I couldn't afford a vehicle and I couldn't afford this and I couldn't afford that. And so a lot of times I was in a cave. I was in the car, conversation was going on, but I was in a cave because I'm like, they deserve so much more that I'm able to give. I want to be able to do so much more. And so I'm just like battling what I see myself as versus where I am. And because I'm in that battle, now I'm in a cave. And in this cave, I don't want no outside interference. I don't care about what you feel about me or how you feel about me. This is something that I've got to deal with, with myself. And so those are some of the things, as our Elder Ransom was saying, some of the wars and some of the mental battles that can happen while a man is in that cave. It doesn't even have to be anything that his spouse did or anything like that. But, we all, especially as men, we see ourselves a certain way, especially as it pertains to our family. Any good black man, strong black man, we want to give our family the best of everything. When you can't, for whatever reason, whether it's God testing you or whether it's a season of lack of shortage, it bothers us. And we're trying to figure out, like, God, why am I here? How did I get here? Did I do something wrong? And for me, who was always someone that's overthinking everything and so analytical and so critical, I'm looking at myself and I'm saying, God, I messed up here and I messed up there. And so I go in the cave so I can heal myself, so I can come back to my wife and be healthy and be whole.
And that's why I think it's important. And we're going to go to the next question, but that's why I think it's important to do what Philly was saying. If you're a woman of faith, to pray, because there are a lot of things that a man will never disclose and say out of his mouth, but he's going through in his heart and in his mind, right? So it's important that you go in and you intercede. I never forget, before we got married, Kevin, I'm not listening to Kevin. I'm being focused. I know, but I'm listening to his statement. I never forget when we first got married, we were at Bobby and Val's house, and we weren't married yet.
The Sloans.
Was at the Sloan's
We
house?
got the Sloan's house in the backyard. Yeah, we got.
No.
Yes, we were.
So it wasn't. We was at Tawana's house.
It was at Thaddeus.
Oh yeah, Thaddeus.
Yeah. We were at Tawana's house because I'm like, we wasn't at the Sloan's house because I remember us being in the living room. We was at Tawana's house and we weren't married yet. And I remember Val was saying how important it was, and Philly had said this to me too. But Val was telling me how important it was to pray for my spouse. And she was saying that sometimes she just lays herself on the Bible and just pray. And I was like, lay yourself on the Bible? Like, just prostrate before the Lord? Like, what is happening that you got to deal with them? And baby, it wasn't until I got the marriage that I said, lay prostrate before the Lord and intercede. Yes, God, it happened. Because the things that happen in marriage that are sometimes not even spoken of, but you can feel it in the atmosphere or in the spirit realm, and not deep, that it's not a natural thing, but it's becoming a spiritual warfare. That as they are in that cave, and that the devil don't keep them in that cave, you now have to tap into that intercession and that covering realm. And okay, God, I need to pray for my husband. I don't know what's happening, but I know he's going through something. You hear his prayers, you hear his cries. I'm interceding on his behalf. So it's important as they go into that cave or when they become silent, for those that was asking that question, for us not to just sit and think like it's me, but go and intercede for them. Go and pray for them, because a lot of times they're crying for help and they're suffering in silence, like Felice says, and you don't have to suffer in silence. Not when we can do this together.
Right. Let me tell you, my wife used to write God letters.
Oh yeah.
For me.
I still do.
But she
Listen.
write letters to him. I'm telling you. And when she would revisit those letters, she looked at what she wrote versus what God has done, and you can see the progress and the change. I mean, I wasn't a bad dude, but sometimes being newly married, you don't know how to gel yet, and you want what you want, and you're trying to live this married single life, it doesn't work. And you're always constantly serving, you're always constantly learning one another. So she used to write letters to God. I'm telling you, it worked.
I still keep a journal. A journal is my way of expression. Sometimes I don't always speak it, but if I pray about it and watch God work it out, what I need to tell him, I tell him. But most of the time, it's my insecurities as a woman or as a wife, and you just want to make sure that you're doing the right thing. So my thing was right, God, I want to be able to do this. I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to be on the same page mentally and help him accomplish his own goals as well as accomplish mine. I don't want to be that wife that be like, oh, you do you and I do me. No, if I can help you be the best you can be, then I'm going to do that. So I wanted to make sure that I was, crossing my T's and dotting my I's when it came down to certain things pertaining to us as a married couple.
But understand, I wanted to say, if you can understand that we're talking about the men going, silencing themselves and things like that. It happens to women too.
Someone just said that. A woman just said that.
Yeah, sometimes I will shut down and he knows, babe, and he'll do just, babe, you all right? Yeah, you know what? I can't talk right now. Or I don't want to talk right now. Or if I speak now, it's not going to come out right. And then we're going to have a problem. So I will shut down. I'll go out because I like to walk. I'll go out and I'll just walk. I'll talk to the Lord, just walking or crying or whatever the case may be. And then I'll be, okay, now I'm good. Now I can talk.
Right, absolutely.
So it's not just a man thing. It's a human thing.
It's a spouse thing. So what we're saying, and just for everyone that's listening, what we're saying, even though we have put it on a specific spouse or gender, this can go back and forth. Women have moments and we shut down, and our breakdown may look different and may feel different, but we have those moments as men go into their caves. Women have moments where we're mentally having breakdowns or mentally depressed, and we can get up, we can feed the kids, we can, make sure that you happy, but internally we're not feeling our best. And sometimes that shows even on the outside. When we stop taking care of ourselves, we stop doing things that we love to do for ourselves.
I've discovered about myself, and I don't know if other women have yet, but during that time of the month, or maybe prior to it or just right after it, we on an emotional roller coaster. And if you catch us at a bad time, or we can let you have it, or we can love you, depending upon that window of emotional imbalance. And at first I didn't really realize what that was, but it was a chemical imbalance that I was dealing with that made me, I would be crying, the mirror would be here on me, and I would see every flaw of my own self. And my husband is looking at me like, but babe, you're beautiful, babe, you're this. And I'm looking at him like, shut up. I don't need to hear that right now. But it was the emotional, and then I had to recognize it. I had to recognize when it was coming or how I was feeling, so I can channel that energy to something else. You got to know yourself also. You got to know what you're dealing with within yourself. And I had to learn that.
Absolutely.
Because my husband was suffering.
For the single people, those that desire to be married, or maybe you engaged, just recently engaged, pray now and ask the Lord to prepare you for the silence that your spouse may present. And my wife touched on it, and we also are touching on it very lightly. We didn't go deep into it, but there's a warfare that comes with being married. Ask God prepare you for that warfare. There's a heavy attack on marriage.
Heavy.
I mean, just downright dastardly attack on marriage. So those of you who are waiting, those of you who are hoping, those of you who are desiring to be married, this is the time now that you ask God to show you the areas where you may be a little selfish, or show you the areas where you may need to work on, to grow, to develop, to learn to compromise.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And here's, if I could add to that real quick, you said something very, very powerful there, Evangelist Bennett. So for those that, as you said, aren't married or are engaged and not married just yet, once you say I do, it's a whole different ball game. Now, you could have been with your significant other or your fiance for 10, 15 years. When you say I do, it's going to be some attacks that you ain't never been through, because they're specifically designed for marriages. So you may think you know that person for 10, 15 years, but trust me, when you say I do, it's going to be some stuff coming your way. Just get ready for it. But there's no perfect marriage, and you can make it through. That's another moment. You can make it through that moment if you keep God, as the core in the marriage.
So I want to just answer this question real quick. I'm sorry, Khalid. I'm gonna go to you. Trinise said, first off, guys, we see all the questions. There's a lot of questions up here, and please forgive us if we skip a question. Charge it to our mind and not our heart, precious hearts. But for Trinise was saying to I think she said prepare us.
Yeah, but that wasn't a question.
That wasn't a question.
Like she was listening.
Oh, okay, but I guess she was asking making the preparation. So for the singles, it wasn't a question, but I think it was more of a statement. For the single people, I guess their question is, their question is, how do they prepare for that, whether it be marriage or preparing for that? I would say marriage, preparing for that relationship. What does the preparation look like as a single person?
Can I say two things? Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Bobby.
Just two things. Number one, I don't care how you may feel, but that scripture is so true about don't be unequally yoked. I have never seen, to this day, I still have not seen equal and unequally yoked stay together. I'm talking about people from the church, whether it's a he or a she, go out. It never works. I promise you, it never works. That's the first thing. But then, okay, if we're talking to Christians who are in the church, I can tell you, Val and I are witness. You got to pray before you even. If y'all got prayer night, we used to go to prayer night together. Okay? She would come and get me from college, and we would go to prayer night together. Number one, to keep us under subjection, our flesh. That was first. Because if we couldn't keep the flesh, we were going to have problems later on down the line. So we used to pray, I mean, for real. And then I'm speaking for me, I knew that she was the one. I was committed. I had blinders on. I wasn't going to let nobody else. Well, first of all, let's keep it a buck. I wasn't going to let no dude get close to her.
I hear that.
I'm talking about blindness. I'm talking about her.
Right. I hear that.
All right. But then on top, and I'm gonna tell. Can I just share this with you?
Yes.
There were people that she didn't even know. I had checking on her to make sure she was good.
Bishop, they still in her DM, Bishop.
You feel me?
Mind you, I'm talking about preaching friends that have been to my church.
And that is so. I'm so glad to be old now in that sense, because there was no Facebook, there was no Instagram back then. So it was a little bit easier, but now for these younger couples that are there's so much of an attack. I think Pastor Ransom said it. That attack, once you say I do, man, it's like all bets are off. Your ring will become a magnet. I promise you. People, I'm only speaking women who never looked at me. When I got married, it was like the ring was a magnet.
Yeah, it's
I'm
true.
not. I wouldn't lie to you.
That's true.
To the point, and Val knew this. There was a woman I worked with who was a supervisor when I was working in Medicaid. And she said this to me out of her mouth. You are the type of man I need. I want a man who is married. Why? Because he knows when to go home. I don't want a boyfriend because he's going to call me in the middle of the night. Will you at? Can I see you? I want a married man because he knows when to go home and he won't call me. That's fine. I'll call you, and that's when you come.
And a married man will give you your best. You only see the goodness.
Yeah.
Right. But when they come home, they're like, she got on her bonnet. And she got, so when you have, it's the truth, then they look at it like, dang, why I can't be like this one? This one, they give you your best because you're only there for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
And us in the church, in particular, I teach all young brother, you better be real careful. Because everybody who say they saved, everybody, as my mama used to say, who speak in a tongue, ain't speaking in tongues. And you get yourself in a situation where you get backed in a corner, and it's between you and a rock and a hard place.
That's just true.
It can go bad quick, fast, and in a hurry. That's why these brothers here who have great wives, man, when I say to you, that's the ride or die. When Val gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning, she can't sleep. Go downstairs and pray. That's the woman I need on my team.
Right.
Pastor, that's the woman you need on your team.
Definitely.
Because if not, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's true.
It's very true. It's very true.
It's true. Listen, I can't even imagine going through, the death of my son with anybody else.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's that's how real it is.
Definitely.
That's how real it is.
And that could make or break a couple.
Oh, absolutely.
Because we lost our son, and I was looking at him with the screw face. In marriage, a wedding is one thing.
Oh man,
marriage is something else.
Really,
Amen. That's the test right there. And good, bad, up, down, life, death, and that squeezes you to let you know what you're made of and what this relationship is made out of.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Because I
if
think
I could add this one.
No, I'm listening.
Go ahead.
No. I talk a lot.
If I could add one thing, this is one of the things that my wife and I mentioned to those that we counsel, like premarital counseling. And this is the acid test right here. I asked them, I asked both of them a question. Is there anything that he or she can do that will cause you to not want to be with them? If they can answer something, you don't want to get married, because some of you guys heard me say this before. There's the marriage covenant, and then there's the marriage contract.
Yes, sir.
The marriage covenant is what God ordained until death do us part.
That's right.
Nice.
But the contract is I love you until you do this or you do that. So if there's something that the one you're engaged to or the one you're thinking about being married to can do that you would not forgive them for, you might want to, just hold off on that. And here's the thing, men, we have to sometimes be how God is with his unconditional love, because we mentioned earlier how women are sensitive and emotional. And sometimes it takes us, when we're both in our feelings, sometimes it takes the man. We have to, it's got to be a God moment for us in that moment right there, because God will forgive no matter what. So even though we might think it's their fault or however the argument started or whatever, the man has to make that God moment decision to bring it all back together. That's fellas.
That is true.
It's true.
That is so.
You say, how can you prepare for marriage? It's really up to the individual, because you never give up your individuality of who you are. I think a person should date the individual for a while before really getting into marriage. How long that time is, it's completely up to you. How long does it take you to get to know a person, because as long as we've been together, I still don't know everything about him. I'm learning stuff every day. But what I did get is hints. There are hints that I got prior to me getting with him, marrying him, that I did not pay attention to because I was so infatuated with wanting to be with him. So sometimes we don't pay attention to those hints that could affect us in the long run being married, or could heighten being married. Like, for instance, all right, I ain't gonna tell you business, but for instance,
you love
me. I love you so much. But like there was this one time where I'm like, I won't say I have OCD, but I like nice things and I like it stuff to be kept clean, like really, really clean. So when I went to his house and he's at school, I noticed that his room was never clean. Like, why is your room looking like this? Like, so what I did was, his room was
adjacent. This is a real truth moment, y'all.
His room, we want truth moment. So his room was right across from his grandma's room. So anyway, I said, do you got a bucket or something? I can just go in his room and just clean his room. So I made his room like really, really almost spotless, getting his room together. But I was trying to impress him, to show him of what I could be. Not realizing that, wait a minute, this guy could be a slob in the long run. So fast forward when we get married, here I see clothes laying around. This and that laying around. Like, wait a minute. But my mind, the Lord takes my mind back. And I say it's the Lord because the Holy Ghost reveals things to you. That's right. I'm saying, wait a minute. He was like that prior to me getting married. So why am I mad when I knew he was like that? So I say, to prepare, spend time with that individual. There are hints about that individual that if we're not so infatuated with wanting to be with them, that will stand out to us and determine whether or not is that somebody we really want to be with.
That's good.
Okay. So time out, y'all. I got a question. So you're saying I'm a slob?
He didn't want to say it, but you kind of hinted at it. I mean,
I was like giving an example.
You know, she got to put it on the table for us to name and claim it, not for you to say it. But it's
just being a rush a lot.
Yeah, you like to rush. But it's true. I mean, Denise, that was a good point, what you just said. A lot of times we're infatuated with what we want, what we see, what we want it to be, that we miss sometimes what they are. And I never forget, someone had told me, if he never changes, would you be okay with them? Because sometimes we see people in the future, oh, they got the potential to be this, but some people never get to the potential.
That's so true.
Some people never reach that potential. Yeah. So we try to, oh, I marry you now, but I see your potential. You're going to be this. And if it's not God ordained, that's another thing. So if it's God ordained and God showed you that this is what's supposed to be, great. But if you created who this person could be, and that's their potential, you know how many people thought they was going to be basketball players and they're not basketball players now? How many people could have been football players and they're not football players? Like, there's so many people that had great to be singers and to be this and to be dancers and next person this, and they never get to their potential. So be mindful. Who is this person today? And yes, we're going to grow. And yes, we hope that everyone's going to grow and become better people. But if there's some things that is just like, I cannot deal with, don't ruin the marriage and thinking that, oh, they just going to be a whole new person because we married. And, you know, that's not the truth. That's not the case. Sometimes this is who they are. Like, my husband is very stubborn. And I knew he was stubborn when I married him. And I just thought, maybe he was going to grow out of being stubborn.
So I told her. So I'm the type that I'm going to tell you. So I told her, listen, I'm crazy. I'm stubborn. I said, there's another side that you ain't going to like. So I said, I don't know if I would marry you. I'd marry me if I was you. I told her.
I thought he was being cute. I thought he was trying to spit game. Like, you know, I'm like, ooh, bad boy. Yes, I love it. And then I was like, oh, no, he's serious. He's stubborn. What's the things that I'm wondering about? But, you know, I thank God for him. I thank God for him.
Listen,
I just think that sometimes people want to be married, but they're not necessarily married material. And I'm saying that very, like, I know people see other couples and they're like, yes, I want to do that. I want to be that. But it takes work to build what you have. I mean, there's a give and take on every level. It could be peaches and cream right now, but then it could be something bigger later.
Franks and beans.
Right. Right. It could be enormous, you know. So be the best person you could be. Let the person love you for who you are, and vice versa, because it's not going to be too much of a change when you get married. You're just going to see it often. Before, when you were dating, you would see it every once in a while. Now, when you're living together, you see that every day. You see it, and you're like, wait a minute, like, you didn't do that last week. That's because I didn't see you last week.
This is true.
Every day. You know? So you gotta make sure that you're willing to be, because my grandmother used to say, live with me and come see me. It's totally
two different things.
You know, it's two different things. That old saying has not gone away. When you see me, you taking me out, I'm putting on my best. I'm putting on my finest. I'm on my best behavior. But if you with me every day, you see me with my bags under my eyes. You see me with bad breath. You see me with just crazy.
Farting.
You start to look at me in a different light. But you gotta say, now that I took off the veil and I took off the makeup and I took off the pretty dress, do you still love me? You know, are you still willing to love me through my ups and downs as well as you? And if you want the whole package right away, it's not gonna be there.
Nope. It's never those things.
A friend of mine said you should choose a spouse of when bad things happen. If the person is staying with you when bad things happen, they're the ride or die. If the person is you going through something and they disappear for a little while here and there, you the one to kick to the curb. Because when parents die, when children die, when you need somebody who's going to be with you through thick and thin. Wait, we got a job now, but what about when you didn't have a job? Or when things happen and you lose a job? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, those tough moments will make or break you. And if you're not up for it now, you won't be up for it when it's meant to happen.
It's very true. Value was going to say something.
So true, man.
Yeah, I was going to say what's important. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say what's important for those who are contemplating marriage and want to be married. Counseling, good counsel is so important.
Definitely.
Also, certain things that we lack in the church, this is just my opinion, is we don't counsel people. Or they'll counsel them maybe for 1 or 2 times and think that they're ready for marriage.
It's true.
And it's not so. We didn't get counsel. We didn't get, counseling like that. And I think it's important that you have that. And I think those who are in line of being married is to not ask people who are not married questions and issues. Find somebody or a couple that you can see and they're spirit led, and they'll be able to to guide you along the way with the good, bad, and the ugly. But don't let everybody know what you're going through. It's just a lot. But I believe good counsel is needed.
Definitely, good counsel is definitely needed. And like you just said, Val, good counsel is needed. And find someone that is not only married but that are happily married.
Right.
Because again, there are a lot of people that are married but that are not happily married.
Right.
They're just in agreement because it's cheap people.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And you be looking for happiness in the other individual. You should be able to make yourself happy.
That's right.
That's
right.
When you come together, you bring happiness to the atmosphere. But if you're relying on that person to make you happy, he's gonna fail or she's gonna fail.
That's right.
just unhappy. You got to be able to make yourself happy. You can't be.
It's
you
true.
can't put that heavy weight of responsibility of making you happy on one individual. That's unfair.
But can I say this? We know in the church, and that's the problem in the church now I'm talking about. There was a time, and y'all know this to be true, it's better to marry than to burn.
Oh my God.
People, lives got ruined.
Messed up.
They got messed up because
Yes,
it was
they
better
did.
to marry than to burn.
See,
And just messed them. Not just
Messed
them,
up.
the children got messed up if they had children.
Yeah.
And we got to come to a place now where we got to keep it real with these young people in particular.
yes.
Hey, listen, man, don't rush with this. Have you really prayed and asked God for an answer? Is she the right one for you? Is he the right one for you?
Right.
You know, and Val know this. When my father first realized that I was really into her, he's like, boy, you sure about this? She kind of sickly a little bit. And I was offended because she my girlfriend. But you best believe me, about a day or two later in my brain, I'm like, yo, that's a fact. Like, yo, kind of sick a little bit. She be catching colds quite often. And for me, as the pastor's son, for me in particular, I always knew, like Pastor Ransom said, till death do we part. So this was going to be it. So it took me 4 years to ask her to marry me for number one, to get myself together.
Right, absolutely.
To get whatever was in me, whatever bad boy that was in me, get that out of me first and foremost.
Definitely.
And then to learn who she was.
Right.
And to see, and I'm not saying this in a negative way, please. I'm not saying it like that. But if she was going to meet my standards, and then for her, if I was going to meet her standards,
Definitely.
you understand what I'm saying?
Definitely.
We were in line together.
Definitely.
This is all I've got.
Right,
This is where I am until either the Lord rapture us up or he takes one of us first.
It's true.
That's my belief. I can't tell about nobody else, but that's how I believe.
Right.
So we took we almost 3.5, 4 years to ask her, and then another year of engagement. Just because I had the ring on, I still wanted to make sure on her that this is still the right thing to do.
It's true.
Right,
It's true.
And
Why
that's important, you know.
Can't rush this thing.
Can't rush it.
It's true.
Wise counsel is important, and to be sure that you know it's very important, and not missing the cues like we were talking about, and all. It's very important, and like everyone was saying, everyone wants the wedding, but they don't really understand the magnitude of the marriage. The viewers are saying, are they having like refreshments? Are we doing a two tariff service? I guess we've been on here kind of long.
This is
good. This is good.
This is good. But we gotta wrap it up, guys.
Absolutely. I just want to piggyback. I've been quiet because you guys have been saying
we have been so quiet, babe. I came over like,
she texted me. She said I said something to you. I said no. I'm just learning.
I'm like, you okay, man? I had a moment. Like
I'm learning.
My husband was a little quiet. I would make sure
I'm
you're
learning.
okay.
But I want you guys to see that this is why we are so blessed so blessed to be surrounded by these couples. I mean, listen, mind you, the crazy thing is we only got to one question tonight. One real question. We didn't even get to submission and the compromise and all those different things, communication, all those different things.
Finances.
Definitely finances.
We had a bunch of questions.
Marriage and ministry. So hopefully, all these OGs are going to be available for a later date.
For part two.
For part 2, part 3, 4, part 5, whatever part we need for the people. But I wanted to say this to what everyone was saying. Paying attention to the hints, as Lady Ransom, Lady Thomas, Lady Sloan, pastors was talking about, is important. Because what I noticed with us, that we were able to kill Goliath. We were both anointed to kill Goliath, but we were not anointed or not aware of the little foxes that came in that was spoiling the vine.
That was true.
And so we would have arguments. I mean, in front of our godparents, not pastor, in their car, have arguments about the smallest things. You know what I'm saying? That would really, I'm talking about, be just nasty arguments that would divide us for days, sometimes weeks. But when Goliath came, we both put on our armor, we had our swords. So pay attention to the hints.
Yeah, because the little foxes,
right? They do more damage over time.
They'll run through your house.
Yep, they'll run through your house. They'll tear up your furniture, and you be like, "This is new furniture. How dare you tear up my new furniture?" they'll do it, and he was right. It was the small things that was dismantling and destroying us. So like he said, big things, big issues. We put on our boots. We fighting. What? Say what, devil? Oh, you tell me what? Not today. We're gonna keep down. But it was the little things, the subliminals that was just going under the radar. That you really feel that about me? That's what you said about my mama?
Oh, you said that. You said this that way.
Yeah, you said it's that way.
So I used to say. It's funny because we laugh at it now.
We gotta wrap it up,
we're gonna wrap it up. I used to be like, you got an automatic weapon in your mouth. I said you used to shoot bullets at me all the time. So I said I had to learn to get a shotgun. To be able to. And then I'm like, God. So I had to pray.
It's called fair fight. You can't.
Right.
You can't fight unfairly.
Yeah.
If you want to bring out guns, trust me, somebody's gonna get hurt because you can't take back words. You put words out there, you can't take words back.
I was just about to say,
you got to be careful with the words that you say to each other because they will make little mountains into.
Oh, it's true.
Listen. The saying is, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. I don't know who made that saying this, but they're lying. Because sticks and stones break your bones, and no words do hurt. Okay, so they're liars.
And if you like me, you remember what you said.
Yeah, and if you
July
like him,
12, 2007.
He's the man that remembers everything.
I remember everything.
I'll be like, I don't even know I said that. Oh, you said that. I said it.
She says I'm like a woman in certain things because I'll backtrack like 3 and 4 times. Okay, you remember this, or let's talk about this to see what you're saying now matches up. And if you don't, I'll be like, oh, you are lying.
Listen, that's him. I got mommy brain. I don't even remember. Listen, I put it in the sea of forgetfulness to remember no more. Him, he remembers.
That's not in the Bible.
That's not in the Bible.
Yes, we do.
Right now, okay. I want to put it in, and I don't remember it. Okay, but we want to wrap this up because we've been on here long, and we want the people to come back next time. So we normally end.
Well, before we do that, can you guys text me your cash apps to the OGs that's on the screen? Can you guys text me your cash apps? We want.
Wow.
Cause maybe someone felt blessed by what you shared and wants to bless you, and then
you must have went mute. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
What you say?
See, this
Hello, 1, 2, 3.
This is why we love
this
y'all.
Is why I love them.
Listen, we normally in our truth moment like this. First off, we probably know how to cash up anyway.
Final remarks.
No, baby, that's what I'm about to do. We about to in our truth moments. How we in our truth moments? We go. What's the where you going, babe? Oh God, T wants us to show the back of the shirt. Wait, guys, pause for the pause. What is this?
It's the astronaut.
It's the astronaut.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Okay, this is the plug. This is the plug. Okay, T, are you satisfied? My God. So how we normally end it is with 2 minutes of truth. So we want to go very quickly around to each couple, and you guys give your 2 minutes of truth or your one takeaway. So very quickly around each couple, a takeaway, one takeaway, or you guys can do a 2 minutes of truth. Who want to go first?
Something to leave the people with.
Yeah, something to leave the people with.
To let them marinate on.
Yeah, so they can marinate on it. Be on it for tonight.
The Sloans look like they
try to marinate on each other.
They look like
a baby tonight.
For round 2.
One of the key things to and listening to the Bennett's and different individuals, the key thing to a successful marriage, I'll give you 2. One on a natural is respect one another. You have to have respect for one another because without respect, you will allow things to come out your mouth and say things toward that individual. And I'll put this out here. I remember.
It's 2 minutes, babe.
Oh, 2 minutes? Real quick. I remember my godson and his wife, they would talk to each other. And I'll lean over to my wife and say, how can they say that to each other? You know what I'm saying? Because we grew up under old school, and there's certain things you just don't say to your spouse. Okay. Now, if you had a girlfriend or somebody you just dealing with and you don't plan to deal with long term, then something may come out. But respect is the key. And second thing is God is the glue.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. God is definitely the glue. And those of us that know Christ or have Christ in our lives, or even just have a relationship with God, He is the key to definitely biblical principles. Follow biblical principles, and you'll have a successful marriage.
Thank you. Okay, who's next? 2 minutes of truth or one takeaway?
Go ahead.
2 minutes of truth. Not 2 minutes. I'm just going to leave with scriptures. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He shall direct thy path. Put that in your marriage.
Yes.
Keep it first.
Yes.
Keep God first, like Pastor Sloan said. First in your life, your individual, and then in your marriage.
Yes.
If you keep it focused on your life first, and then on the two of you as one, I promise you'll be blessed.
Amen. Love it. What about the ransoms? The 2 minutes of truth or your one takeaway?
I let the missus go first.
And what everybody else said, just keep God first. He is the core of our marriage. He's the glue. Whenever we get out of line, we have to go to the Word to get back in line. But I think
definitely
God is definitely the core of our marriage. And just a couple of 3 books I would recommend for every couple. Every married couple wanting to be married. 5 love languages.
Yes.
Unlocking the mysteries of marriage.
And this one here.
Oh, we have that book.
Y'all see, I'm gonna read. I gotta tuck my stuff down. I'll put that up close with you.
Warfare
for your marriage.
Yes.
Okay. Send us these books.
Y'all look out for the Sloan's new book coming out.
Come on here.
Yes.
Speak it. Listen, I love it. Send us those names of the books so we can actually put it in so the people that want to buy them can purchase them. Ron, what's your 2 minutes of truth or your one takeaway, babe?
2 minutes of truth. Very quickly, you can reach Bishop and Lady Thomas at Greater Refuge. They are located in the beautiful city of Jamaica, Queens, right there on Sutter Avenue.
That is true.
He is a dynamite preacher. He is an awesome woman of God.
Yes.
I'm talking about just dynamite power couple who are down to earth, as you see, real as can be. And they have one of the best churches right here in the beautiful city of Jamaica, Queens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Truth. We're going down to my pastor and first lady. We are talking about Pastor and Lady Sloan. They are the senior pastors of the New Hope Pentecostal Church, located in my hometown, Brooklyn. No. You're not from Brooklyn. They are 2 anointed men and women of God. She's a praise and worship leader. He's a powerful preacher, got a hoop from out of this world. Just great people, real people to get with. And last but most certainly not least, one of my favorite couples, we have our Southern District Elder. We call him the Doctor because of his intelligence.
Yes.
And Lady Denise Ransom, who are out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Yes. From the St. James Pentecostal Church. They are the founders. They are, please forgive me if I get this wrong. They are the founders of Match Made in Heaven Ministry, which is a marriage ministry that they run out of their church in Philadelphia. They have had conferences, retreats, seminars. They are experts in how to have a godly marriage. Put their Facebook and their Instagram handles in the bio so you can connect with them. And I promise you, you won't be sad that you did so.
Okay, so that was all the truth, babe. So I guess you gave 2 minutes of truth, right? I'll give my takeaway, and I'll do what we normally do. So my takeaway is sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will hurt. So be careful and be real conscious of what it is that you say to each other. Love. Let's talk in love. Let's speak in love. And I believe that you guys in your relationship shall prosper. And the last thing is, the truth is, babe, pay attention. The truth is, Jesus loves you.
Big Bank, what's good, bro?
That's the truth. That's how we end it, guys. Jesus loves you. He loves
yes.
you. That's the truth. Jesus loves you, and so do we. We hope that you come back the next time to join us on the Truth Moment podcast. Until then, babe.
Oh.
Peace.
Peace. All right, guys. We love you.
We love you guys.
All right, bless you. Everybody take care.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Stay on, guys. Stay on, guys.
You guys stay on.